It's New Comic Book Day today, so I thought it'd be a good idea to rank every single comic book shop in Leeds. Leeds has a whopping total of 3 comic book shops. We have OK Comics, Forbidden Planet, and The Travelling Man. I'm going to base these rankings off 5 very important features that make up a great comic book shop. Number 1 is the people. I'm talking about the whole shebang here. I'm talking about the people that I'm going to be talking to while I'm looking for my comics. I'm talking about the customer service. I'm talking about the security guards. Yes, that's right. The security guards. But you can see more on that later. Number 2 is the aesthetics, and this is very important. If I feel like I'm being judged or watched, I will not be happy whatsoever. Don't rush my comic selection time. I take pride and joy in this day of the week. Oh, and this also means what the shop looks like, the vibe, the decorations, and how the comics are actually displayed. Do you know what I mean? And now number 3 is the comic selection. You know, when I walk into a comic book shop, I don't want to see slop on the shelf. I want to see pure heat. I'm talking about absolute Batman, absolute Green Lantern, all the absolute titles, but also some indie comics. Now, number 4 is the price, and this is the second most important one, because when I walk into a comic book shop, I know full well I'm about to spend £50, but I want to make sure every single penny is worth it, and believe it or not, that's not just down to how good the comic is. More on that later. And finally, this might not seem that important, but trust me, it is, because later on, it gets a bit crazy. The location. Number 5 is the location, and trust me, if you have a bad location, I'm going to be upset. Okay, one quick thing before we get into the rankings. I speak to some of the people that actually work at these comic book shops fairly regularly, and now I'm going to make sure that there's no bias. I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to make sure the rankings are completely fair, so let's get on with them. Starting off at the bottom of the barrel, the worst of the worst, hell on earth itself, we've got Forbidden Planet. Forbidden Planet is a chain comic book shop, and you can find multiple of them across the UK in various popular town centres. And Leeds is the worst of them. I have quite a few friends that I've made through the comic book community across the UK, and when they show me their Forbidden Planet, I am so unbelievably jealous. Now, I don't have a problem with their comic book selection. They always have a fat stack with the best covers. Now, what really truly lets this place down is their aesthetics. This place is genuinely a nightmare. I wake up at night thinking I've been trapped in this basement, because trust me, it's a basement with hot sweats. I'm stressing, I'm panicked. Just let me set the scene for you, okay? Let me set the scene, because I don't think you can truly picture how bad this is, okay? So you walk into the shop, right? You walk into the shop. There's a security guard on your right. He's a very nice guy. He always says hi, he always opens the door for you. Very nice. The rest of the shop is okay? You've got like, you know, your Pokemon stuff on this side. You've got some like manga selection of like figures and anime stuff and more like game selections, like board games and stuff. Anyways, that's the point. Teddies and stuff. And then you make your way towards this like the pops, you know, where the pop figures are and stuff. And they've got a massive selection. It's huge. I'm telling you, it's like really, really big. It's like it's like 2 walls worth, which is crazy. Anyways, I'm ranting. So you look to your left, okay? On your left is these stairs, right? Which are incredibly hard to get to, because if someone's coming up these stairs, you have to wait. You do have to wait. They're not very big stairs, which is completely fine, you know. But my issue is, walking down these stairs, you get hit with this stuffy, disgusting air, and there's nothing you can do about it. You're just in there. It feels like you've just walked through a portal into the most disgusting area on Earth. And it's so warm, oh my god. Now, despite how terrible this place is, I do actually like that it's more of an enclosed space so that I can privately, well, borderline privately, select my comics without anyone pressuring me to do so. And another thing before we move on to the next one is that this place is 90% manga and 10% comic books. I don't read much manga, so this place kind of has no use to me, but the 10% is very precious to me. This place overall gets a 3 out of 10. Moving on to the next worst comic book shop in Leeds, or the best comic book shop in Leeds. I'm a glass half empty type of guy, so you know, I kind of feel bad saying the worst comic book shop, because The Travelling Man is actually pretty good. The Travelling Man is another chain shop and currently has a total of 4 shops across the UK, and luckily, Leeds has one. Now, comparing it to Forbidden Planet, which has 20 shops across the UK, The Travelling Man is significantly less popular. However, I can tell you one thing for a fact. The aesthetics, oh, the aesthetics are 10 times better. I genuinely had no idea this shop existed until I came up with this video idea. And apparently I've walked past this shop for the past 10 years of my life, which tells you one thing. The location is terrible. I started looking for this shop when it was daytime and I found it at nighttime.
Okay, Traveling Man was impossible to find. It's literally nighttime now.
It genuinely felt like I was looking for platform 9 3/4 because apparently on Google Maps, it said I was on top of it. It was driving me insane, but then when I finally found it, I went through the entrance. Wrong! I didn't go through the entrance, I went through a blocked door. I mean, I looked to my right and the entrance was there. But there was like 3 different doors and they were all wrong. And it felt like, you know that scene in It when it's like, there's 3 doors? I do feel like one thing that could easily, very easily solve this issue is just by having one of those like cardboard things that just flip out, you know, and put it outside or somewhere and just say the entrance is here or just say the Traveling Man is here. And life would be 10 times better. I wouldn't have been around for like an hour searching for this thing. Anyways, now we're finally inside the shop. I get inside the shop and I'm greeted by the staff, and they're extremely nice. This place is really nice. The aesthetics are great. You walk in and there's just a bunch of comics, like, and the lighting's really good, and it's just nice. Like, it's just a nice place. I mean, this shop is laid out really well. It's 60% manga and 40% comics, which is a really big thing with these chain shops. That they're quite heavy on the manga. I'm assuming they might make the most money out of manga. I don't know, but they have a really nice chunky wall of back issues with some incredibly fire covers, and this is exactly what I'm looking for. Now, this was the last shop I went into for the day, and I had to restrict myself. But seriously, if this wasn't the last shop I went into, I would have left with so much more comics. It was insane. This shop heavily supports indie creators, which I always think is an amazing thing to do, especially for a chain shop as well. And they do these mystery bags. And there's a mystery bag for Marvel, DC, and indie creators. I picked up an indie creator one, and it was just great. Like, it's just great to see indie creators getting the support they need. And the books are great. The prices of these books are similar to those at Forbidden Planet, where Forbidden Planet convert the prices. So in the top left corner, it'll say $4.99 on a comic book. But in the UK, it's not £4.99. It's about like, I don't know, £3.99 or something. I don't know. I can't convert prices. Anyways, check out Gaia by Chris Avery Stewart, by the way. I'm pretty sure you can only buy it in a Traveling Man across the UK, which is really cool. I respect them for pushing it out there. Overall, this shop is not amazing. It's not bad. It's just a 7 out of 10. Okay, now we have my true goat, the best of the best. The place you should come if you are anywhere near Leeds. It's OK Comic. OK Comics is incredible. This place isn't perfect, but you can easily excuse the negatives for how many positives there are. In 2014, this shop was nominated for an Eisner Award. I'm pretty sure it's called the Spirit of Retailer Award. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this shop is next level. The shop is really small, but the way that they use the space is perfect. This is a small shop and they use their space perfectly. If you're the only person in this shop, it feels like heaven. However, a big however, if there is more than one person in this shop, you're just getting in everybody's way. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just like I'm socially awkward sometimes. So if I'm like in someone's way, I just feel really, really bad. Or like they're just annoyed at me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being stupid. Yeah. I mean, every time there has been another customer, through my personal experience, they're just chatting with the staff, talking about what comics they're reading right now, what their favorite comics are, what they're gonna do later on in the day. The staff are really approachable, and the customers are approachable as well. Everyone in this shop is clearly passionate about what they are doing, and they are so proud of what it's become, and you can just clearly tell. I mean, sometimes when I'm in there, I hear private business conversations about who's gonna come visit them. I won't say it out here, because I don't want to spoil it, and I don't want to embarrass them. Is that a thing? One of their biggest things that I personally love about this shop is that they support indie comics like crazy. I mean, I personally don't buy that many indie comics just because I'm constantly trying to make new videos for TikTok and Instagram, and make sure you go check Comic Pops out on there. But that's the reason why I don't buy indie comics, is because I want to build up my massive collection so I can make popular videos, basically. But I always love supporting indie creators, and I always love reading their books. If someone reaches out to me and asks me to make a review on their comic, I will. It just feels so good to have the platform where people can come to me and ask for my support when it comes to supporting their comic. There is not another OK Comics on the planet, and I am proud that I live next to it. Near it. I do have a few negatives. They don't get complete and utter glaze from me, so just bear with me. I have an issue with the prices. Now, I can easily excuse this and say that they are an independently owned shop, so the prices have to be higher, but sometimes the prices can be a bit ridiculous. Now, for example, Hulk Grey was £20 in OK Comics. I could have gone round the corner to Forbidden Planet and bought it for 15 quid. I didn't, because I don't know why I did. Because helping local businesses is exactly what you should be doing with your spare time. And the prices of their single issues is £4.99, when on the comic itself it says it's $4.99. Which isn't conversion, doesn't work in conversion. That's not how conversions work. But other than that, the prices of the single issues in OK Comics are £4.99. I mean, you can just look at the top left corner of the single issue and see that it's $4.99. That's not how conversions work. They don't say the same price. And if you go into Traveling Man, if you go into Forbidden Planet, the prices are converted, which I respect massively. However, OK Comics do give you a bag, a resealable bag, which is the best type. And I respect that, as it's a way to kind of excuse the price. But it is a bit ridiculous sometimes. I mean, $4 there is £20. And you can go into Traveling Man, and $4 there can come up to £10. You get what I'm saying? The overall aesthetics for this shop are easily a 10 out of 10. I mean, the lighting in there is just a 10 out of 10 in itself. But they give you a whole sofa. They give you a whole sofa. You can just sit there and read a book all day long, and they won't have an issue with it. I think they will have an issue with it. I mean, if you read all of their books and do not buy a single one, I'd have an issue with that, personally. But it's still a really nice place, and it's just beautiful, man. Well done, guys. You've done a really good job on making your shop look beautiful. Oh yeah, and I nearly forgot, the location is amazing. Oh my god, the location is so good. In Leeds, we have these things called arcades, which are just like strips of shops, basically, in back alleys. I don't know, that's the best way to describe it. And OK Comics sits in this arcade perfectly. Oh my god. You just go in, and nobody's there to judge you. Nobody's there to look around and go, look at that nerd walking into a comic shop. No, nobody's there. It's just nice, relaxing experience. That's all it is. I respect it. Okay, now the overall score is an 8 out of 10. I was gonna give it a 9, but the prices hurt me a bit too much. That was my ranking of every single comic book shop in Leeds. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. It genuinely means the world to me. I've had so much support with this video over the last couple of months. It's been insane. Expect long form videos a lot more now. Yeah, and if you guys have any tips of how to make this better and more enjoyable, please let me know. And yeah, stay tuned for the next one. Subscribe to Comic Cops. I was going to give a comic book haul, but the vlogs that you see are from so long ago. This new comic book day, this video has been going on for a long time.